Hi, I came up with my top albums of the year of 2024, and the list was kind of sketchy. I won't lie. Only want to bring music into 2025 that you know you'll listen to, or you know you'll enjoy, or maybe you'll enjoy. I thought, why don't I do my albums of the year 2024 wrapped? Now, this will not have to do with my Apple Music replay because I don't know who that woman is, but that's not me.
This
Just literally going to go by if I heard an album or I saved it, how I felt like how good it was and how I would recommend it. And we will be crossing genres for this one. Yeah, we're genre bending, Tyler. We're also going to get into some R&B soul and some alternative. And yeah, I just wanted to just lock it down. So my first album, and I think this is gonna be my album of the year in general, like across all the genres, across all the genres, across all the genres. Album of the year, Splendid, was on my replay. My favorite song on it was my number one song. It was my anthem of the year, Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. I have been a Schoolboy Q observer. I observe the tradition of Schoolboy Q as a top dog entertainment lover. I love Schoolboy Q so much. As a Crash Talk lover, I love Schoolboy Q so much. And I always think that as a writer, he's just someone who writes really well. I enjoy the attitude in his rap. I enjoy how he raps. It's all just amazing. I can't get over it. So when Blue Lips came out, and I really wasn't even paying attention to the, what do they call that? I wasn't really paying attention to the rollout of Blue Lips, honestly. Barely knew about which singles came out first or second or whatever, if the videos came out when. But as soon as I tapped into Blue Lips, I knew it was already one of my favorite albums of the year. He speaks of himself, the songs on the album, they're just all so cohesive, so there's so much attitude, there's so much grit, there's so much gravel in Blue Lips, and I like it so much because it's also bearable. And I think I love everything about it. In terms of the melodies that he used, in terms of the stylistically, it was really great as well. I think I like the themes as well. Thank God for Me song. That was actually my favorite song the whole year. Thank God for Me. Um, I also liked Cooties. I liked Blue Slides. I was the first one fucking that bitch. I was the first one hitting that shit. I was the first one putting that shit. I bought that shit. I bought that shit. She was the first one sucking my dick. What do you mean by that? Loved Blue Lips Schoolboy Q. He just made my year with this one. And I think whether, Grammy season is hot on the dot. Award season, not even Grammy season. Award season is hot on the dot. It is coming. But regardless of that, I just hope that as a community, we can at least one day look at this and say that was a classic. Because it's a classic to me already. Okay? Win triple platinum on my speakers. Win triple platinum on my AirPods. So next, one of my favorite albums from the R&B soul genre was definitely Submissive 2 by Destin Conrad. Now, it happened very early in the year, the release, and also I have not always been a Destin Conrad observer. I know, it's weird. I'm not always an R&B soul observer, everyone knows this, but if you know me even better, Destin Conrad was not even on my radar. He was beneath my bed. Ha, so wish. What are we talking about? I love Destin Conrad Submissive 2 so much. I didn't even listen to the first one. I didn't it was an album that just came across my new releases and I was like Fizz, and I'm so glad I gave it a chance because the amount of, again, confidence, the art, he can sing. He's got some tubes on him because he can sing, and I just love the style of everything. I love the mood of everything. Like, of while we have a lot of traditional R&B themes going on, but they still feel very true to the times that we're living in, and that's what I love the most about these types of things. Next thing I'm going to get into is We Don't Trust You. Now, I gotta We Don't Trust You by Future and Metro Boomin. I got a little bit of smoke about this being on my top albums of the year. I stand by it. I stand by it. I love We Don't Trust You. Okay, I love quite a lot of things about it. I do love more than 3 or 4 songs, and I feel like I used to, or at the point when it came out, I was listening to the whole album throughout and concurrently, and I really enjoyed it. I think outside of the fact that this is the album that started the infamous Drake versus, oh, not started, but it was, oh, and him saying, nigga, it's just Big Me. It's not top three, okay? That was the beginning of what we know. And while that is why it got so much attention, I think there was some really amazing bangers on it. We'll talk about Don Julio. Is it Don Julio? Oh, what? Don something? Also known as Princess Diana. I loved that song so much. Oh, it's Magic Don Juan. Yeah, it's Magic Don Juan. I love Magic Don Juan. Princess Diana. I love that song so much. I liked Cinderella. Okay, true story. I didn't like Cinderella that much because Travis Scott tends to get on my very last nerve. But over time, I was like, Cinderella is actually, in terms of the melody or the style of the song, it's very very unique, and I think I really like that about the song. And talk about like that, I like that. Songs like Yeah, I'm Fried. Yeah, I'm fried. Yeah, I'm fried. Yeah, I'm fried. I What can we really say about songs like Yeah, I'm Fried? Really, those are the types of songs that I didn't like. But overall, this album, I think it deserves a spot on my albums of the year. What I will say, I don't like We Still Don't Trust You. I don't like We Still Don't Trust You because it's a little too The Weeknd coded for me. And I know that he was on the album, obviously, but it was a little too The Weeknd coded for me, especially as someone who doesn't really enjoy The Weeknd's work at all or much. We're gonna talk about Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doshi. Now, a lot of Doshi fans are happy to see what Doshi is going through right now, which is the success that we want our girl to be seeing right now. But Persuasive and Crazy were songs that I was like, okay, I see who Doshi is. So when she came out with Alligator Bites Never Heal, and that was right off of what is that coming out? Nissan Altima. After the Nissan Altima single drop, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be hot. And when I listened to it, I was like, yes, I was right. Yes, I was right. Listen, I am the trap Grace Jones. I think nothing more innovative has come together between describing Grace Jones with the genre of trap. And I think that's who I am. That's who I embody to this day because of Doshi. So I love Doshi. Um, Very much themed, very much funny, so joyful, so light, but so honest. And we all love a little bit of honesty, but also rapping, rapping, like rapping was taking place. Serious amounts of rapping were going on, and songs like Fireflies. I like Fireflies because it's a little bit more, you know, red light district coded, but I loved it all nonetheless. I won't lie, songs like Boiled Peanuts and what's the song? Denial is a River. The drama is good, but when you listen to it for an extended amount of time, not so much. These are not the types of songs that you're playing on your way walking into an office. But on the first few times you listen to the album, you're very much entertained, and I'm entertained by that. She really observes what hip hop culture and hip hop history is, and I like that because as someone who is not very observant of the culture because she's not American, I feel I just loved Alligator Bites Never Heal. Next, we're gonna talk about 101. One of one. One of one. One of who? You and me? No, one. One. One of One by Ghana. The second album that he's dropped since he's been out of prison. After he came out from there, he hit the gym and he hit the studio. Those two things are facts. Love One of One so much. I think I might like it better. I also believe that I might enjoy One of One better than I enjoyed Drip Season Forever. But Drip Season Forever has a lot of hits. I just remembered now. Mm, it might still be Drip Season Forever. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna jump into alternative real quick, and we're gonna talk about Mount Kimby's The Sunset Violent. I love listening to Mount Kimby. I think he makes me feel sad and alive at the same time. He really slows me down and makes me very much more intentional, not intentional, but aware of my surroundings and stuff, and aware of myself intrinsically. And I think that is what I really enjoy, whether it's his live albums or albums that are studio albums like One of my favorites was Empty and Silent featuring King Cruel. The square is empty and ooh, the square is empty and silent on a Monday night. You guys don't understand how much. You guys don't listen to Empty and Silent by Mount Kimby featuring King Cruel the way I listen to Empty and Silent by Mount Kimby featuring King Cruel because you'll never understand. I understand that song. I felt like pissed off because I skipped the Tumblr era, but I wish I was there because oh, what a song! Empty and Silent loved it so much. A figure in Surf, Shipwreck also, just a 10 out of 10. Never have left me sad about anything I've listened to. It is Love Heart Cheat Code by Hiatus Coyote. Oh my gosh, changed my personality for a good month and a half after that. And I think it was one of the most influential albums in terms of my day to day because it was perfectly it was perfectly timed in my life. Hypnotizing rhythm. You don't fall asleep in the hypnosis, but you're actually just going on about it and you are almost enjoying yourself more as you're hypnotized. It's almost like some sort of phenomenon that you see people like remember when people like were laughing so much like it was like a laughing disease in Kenya or something. It feels like that. It feels like a phenomenon. It feels like something that has not been described before. And that's what I felt about Love Heart Cheat Code. They have certain foundations as Hiatus Coyote that always are met. I can't tell what the foundations are. Some of my favorite songs, one of my favorite, I think, is it my favorite song? I don't know, but How to Meet Yourself. Jeez, I could cry talking about how impactful that album was for me. But How to Meet Yourself, tell me yourself and keep from harm. So I come on. What do you mean? Love Heart Cheat Code, the actual song, amazing. Dimitri also really cool. Sometimes I just hear myself singing Long Cat is the longest cat in the world. Why? Because it's a rhythm of life. Another album where I felt like alternative music was just doing amazing was Charm by Clairo. Um, this I just have to thank TikTok. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. I hate it when I find an album on TikTok and it becomes one of the most influential albums. You know me, you know me. But I am an absolute Clara fan after that because every song I wrote here, every song on Charm by Clairo was amazing for me. It was deep in the winter when I started listening to it. It was really flippin' cold. Like, I love Add Up My Love. I don't know, but while the theme of it is very much on some, you're clearly not able to bring yourself to this relationship or this partnership that you have. It's fine because you can add up my love. And the joy in the music as you're talking about some of the um hardest moments in a relationship. What was she on? The joy in it was really, it was, I want to call it juxtaposed. The juxtaposition of that and what are you talking about? But I loved it so much, so much, so much. I loved Second Nature, Nomad, Juna, obviously, and Sexy to Someone. I love Sexy to Someone because it makes me want to wear a floral dress, but not the type that is form hugging. Just one that makes you feel like you could go pick flowers in the field and take an allergics promptly after. Exactly. One of very few South African album inclusions, which is sad, but I'm not gonna really talk about it, is Pray for Pitori by Low to Never Pounds. Yes. 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 We spoke about it at length in the video that I made about it. I loved it so much and even better, I went to some type of fun on New Year's Eve and I had him not had him at gunpoint, but I saw him performing it live and it was absolutely it was absolutely worth it. He is really, really amazing. an amazing performer, but also outside of that, the album itself was just so well adjusted. Um, for someone who came out with such Plata, came out with an album that was that good as a debut, and then you're gonna do Pray for Bidori, which is almost even better, if not better. Three block myself. And I'm a- 123 blocks my 123 block myself. 20 Thou when 20 Thou started playing at phone, I physically screamed. I forgot that I'm one of those girls who screams every time she hears a song that she loves playing. But I heard 20 Thou and I started screaming. I love Banyana Bakonot. I love Mama Zala. Listen, almost clear for me, but I'm not too sure because I don't want to make inflammatory statements. But one of my albums of the year in South Africa, probably my top three. Another one that I think a lot of us enjoyed, and I don't like talking about albums that a lot of us enjoyed, but we did. P4, Party Next Door 4. Now, I hope I blur out the album cover if I do edit it in, but outside of the annoying album cover, what an album! Oh, what an album! An album. I think it was really good. I think listening to songs like No Chills, Easier Stuck in My Ways. I don't wanna be offended because I'm so stuck in my ways. What are you talking about? Like that. Sorry, but I'm outside. I wrote here sorry, but Nise Pandle. Girl, you can't even speak Zulu. Why would you write it? And Resentment. Resentment came out as a single the year before, and then I ingested it so deep that when it came out again on the album, I was so happy. Okay, skipping right over into alternative again from the R&B, we're gonna talk about Ala Sala by Kruangbin. If you don't know who Kruangbin is and you enjoy like almost folk alternative band vibes, I don't know how to describe Kruangbin, but it's so it's time traveling, but it's also not. It's almost like going onto a mountain and listening to music, but whose mountain? Where and why? A universal mountain, a mountain where you don't need a passport for it. Ala Sala by Crumbin was one of my favorites that came out this year. Some of my favorite songs here written down are "A Love International." I remember that song so much. I love it. Pon Pon and May 9th. Just the absolute joy that comes to my heart when I listen to Krungbin. It really feels like the type of music that you play at family affair, but it's actually for everyone, you know? And if you like that type of groovy, not necessarily disco. It's not disco. It's not jungle music, man. It's I don't know what it is, man. But I feel like saying folk alternative is where I want to put it, and hopefully I'm right. But I like to listen to soundtrack a lot. And one of my favorite soundtracks was June Part 2, the soundtrack. Hans Zimmer already had set up whatever he did here very well with the first June soundtrack and with experiences on Arrakis or one of those albums. It just sounds like you're in the middle of a desert. You feel like you're in the middle of a desert. He set that up very well and very nicely. But June Part 2, I loved it. I think also the amount of the way the music had to be really, really good quality. It translated so well on my AirPods, and I feel like I would like to implore all of you that if you listen to watch a, watch a movie and the soundtrack eats, go download it. Go download it because it's worth it. It's worth every drop. Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer, for me, had one of the best soundtracks that I'll always be paying attention to. Also, Loki, I want to say season 2. Amazing. I loved everything about Loki's album. We're going to talk about the man at the back. Yeah, him. So we're gonna talk about Chromacopia. Chromacopia was really interesting for me. I think just because of the lore that he came out with in terms of the album about how much control that he's gonna have and the types of sounds that he wants to make and everything. And when the album came out, I felt like yes, it's very much a walking in the feet of Tyler type of experience. It was an experience. I loved that I was experiencing something every single time I listened to the album head to toe. There are some songs though that I could do without, but overall, I love Chromacopia. I think it's not the type of, to be honest, for me, when you've already couched someone in a certain box, it's very hard for you to move him out of it. And so when you see this poster, it means something because this is my favorite Tyler album, and I'm not trying to get him to compete with that album. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to look at Chromacopia as an individual album and say, you know what? That was vibes. That was vibes. That was vibes. I love seeing Ayo Edebiri in his face with snot and screaming. I loved that. I love that direction. If Ayo Edebiri is doing anything, she must be screaming, and I love that. So the types of songs I liked, and honestly, I think this is my favorite song on the whole album. Ooh, cap. These are my two favorite songs on the album. It's Ratata, Ratata. Is it Ratatata? Ratatata. Is it Ratatata or Rata? Ratata. I don't know, but one of those. I like that a lot. It's the one before Noid or Noir. I don't know how you guys want me to say that. Noid. But it's the one before Paranoid. I love the song before Paranoid. Ratata. And I also love Judge Judy. Just because of how they made the melody, the beat, just everything behind the voices. Oh, it was so homey. I felt like I was in a bowl of soup with like white bread, freshly baked. Judge Judy. And I think I really enjoyed being reminded that I can die doing certain things and living certain ways. Uh, I won't necessarily get into that much, but Judge Judy was definitely one of those songs that, in terms of impact on me, I really enjoyed it. We're gonna talk about a R&B soul album from Zaid Africa. We're gonna talk about Halo Yagami. Finally found her. Now, I have not been. I am a Halo Yagami observer, not a fan, but an observer. And from what I've observed and finally found her, it was immensely beautiful. A little bit has been a lot very well couched in a very beautiful place. I liked it. I liked it completely. And one of my favorite songs, or my favorite song, is Losing Sleep. Because I've been losing sleep now, wako. What do you mean? I know what you mean, but like, what do you mean? Right. Insane. So I really, really liked that. That was one of my favorite albums, R&B soul albums from South Africa. And another one that is on air by Fila Lala. Love Fila Lala so much, but that album, so I listened to music here. I listened to a lot of music and I loved it so much. I liked Past Myself, Time Last Night, and Ready. Those are just some three examples of it. But we do the whole radio a lot. We do radio a lot, especially as people who are streaming in the car nowadays and not playing the radio all the time. Like, not everybody, but our generation, we're probably streaming the music rather than listening to the radio. I do enjoy the concept of having albums the same way with Old Dogs Go to Heaven by Tato Soul, albums which are in a radio format. I I enjoyed this one though. It can get tiring, that type of theming, that type of structure, but only if you get used to it too much. But with this one, it was fun, you know, and also, yeah, it was just fun. I liked it. I liked it. That whole having callers calling in and being like, "Dude, let me play you a song," and people are complaining, and it's like, "Let me play you a song, man." We're gonna hop right back into hip hop, rap, and trap. We're gonna talk about mixtape Pluto by Future. Now, a lot of us, Cap, a lot of y'all have kind of put Future into like the toxic guy um bucket box, which is true because that is exactly the box that he deserves to be in. That's the one he wants to be in to a certain extent. I think mixtape Pluto came out and I was like, okay, this mixtape is just Future having fun, and I was looking forward to that the most. I think I've had enough of Future being in other people's presence. I needed Future alone, one man, gunman, and I enjoyed the HE double hockey sticks out of mixtape Pluto, okay? Because Too Fast, South of France, Brazier, Surfing a Tsunami, which is I think my favorite song. Between Surfing a Tsunami and Made My Whole Faint, I just made my whole faint. She didn't even believe it was me. Why? Why? Every time I get on, put on, then I shit on it. What? What are we talking about? The types of albums that I wanted to, or mixtapes, projects. These are the types of projects that I want to talk about forever, and I might just actually make an album review of it alone. But I love mixtape Pluto so much, and I think it's very much closer to Blue Lips and Alligator Bites Never Heal for me this year, like in terms of my enjoyment of R&B, no, in terms of rap. Yeah. Oh, another album that I enjoyed for a few moments and a good few key moments was Empathogen by Willow. I love Willow Smith's music so much. I actually just love Willow so much. I think her vibe, I think she is a musician. I think she is the textbook definition of a musician. She's no chance taker. She doesn't take chances with this type of work. And I think I am so happy to see how she grows. I mean, we're closer in age. I don't know if she's younger or older than me, but we're closer in age than anything. But just to witness the growth in terms of going from the rock alternative, going from the alternative, getting into rock, getting into alternative again. I loved everything about it. And I think it won something about best engineering or best sound, um, because it makes sense. But for me, songs like Fear is Not Real, um, I deal with a lot of anxiety. Yeah, putting me in bands about to eat anxiety. But I love that song so much. No Words 1 and 2, and I Know That Face. And Pathogen by Willow was absolutely phenomenal. And I don't know, her taste is absolutely, oh, she has taste. She's a woman of taste. I think the way a lot of people see Solange as a tastemaker when it comes to music and alternative R&B, whatever, that's how I feel about Willow. Except she's a little bit less on the nose. Like, no, people don't talk about her as much, essentially, that's what I mean. But she is one of my favorite Nepo babies, and I don't even consider her a Nepo baby to me anymore. When you listen to a lot of electronic music, sometimes there are albums that come out that you're like, whoa, I really messed with this. And I really messed with 10 Days by Fred again. Um, it is literally about 10 days with just happiness or people you love or experiences. I don't really know what's going on in that album, but I was couched in it for a hot second, especially with songs like Just Stand There. I like albums with messages in them, and I liked that. I liked Just Stand There, Places to Be, and for 10 Days by Fred again, electronically. Yes, yes, yes. And let me check. Yes. Okay, next we're gonna talk about Gap Year by Layla. Gap Year by Layla sounds more like a compilation album. Um, you know, a lot of, how can I say it? At the end, she's the girl who wrote what's that one? Do you want me? Do you wanna love me like that? Like that? Do you want me? And then she had another song that came out like, not my problem. That's just not my problem. I can't sing, but essentially she came out with her debut qua called Capia, and I love that. It really got back to some very tangible old times that we experienced. And I'm not even talking about 2016 times. I'm talking about, it's very much DIY. It's very much, it sounds like someone who is experimenting with new technology but in their time. That's how I felt about that. And I really like that. And I also like that it is very gummy pop high school, because it's essentially like high school music, but it's very gummy pop high school. Like, do you like me? Here's my Blackberry, put your number in. Um, that type of stuff. And I really like that. And I like songs like Flyer Than You, Could Be.
Right, yeah, and that is exactly where my mic gave out on me. I can't even imagine trying to shoot this again. That's why I'm taking this voiceover, because I'm telling myself that a 30-minute video of as many albums as I possibly could um, talk about from 2024, I managed. I had one more to talk about. I wanted to talk about Orion by Orion Sun. Not sure if it's her debut or not, but I just know that that was also the very last one. But I'm not gonna like go into it. I just wanted to mention it. But yeah, guys, thank you for rocking with me. And yes, I will. I know the mic. I think it's that weird thing I was doing at the beginning of this video, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been Whatever Kike Says. Paying Brownting and Adrisa's Pieces. Paying Brownting in your section. That's me, and I will see you when next time.